Here we go again. It's Christmas time. Mistletoe and lots of wine. Hello wonderful humans of the internet, how are we? My name is Sam Scott Thorne and I'm a vocal coach based in Glasgow. Now if you'd like to meet and explore your voice a little more, you can find me on sstvocals.com. You can also find me on Patreon and various other social media platforms, and I'll put the handles down below and over there. Over there. Sometimes I have to do the melody of the song that I'm about to listen to because it just gets in my brain, you know? So if you'd like to consider becoming a patron, you have access to things like early release of reactions, you can fast track reactions, become a reaction, there's special roles on my Discord server, and you have access to all sorts of bonus content like my Vocal Anatomy 101 series, so consider becoming a patron and help shape my channel. Okay, we're going to do a couple of Christmas reactions because it's Christmas time and it is the law. This next suggestion is one of my subscribers who lives in Greece, who came to Scotland and asked if I wanted to meet and go for a walk. So we met and went for a walk. So I was like, what do you want to hear? Let's do it. And I know that she absolutely adores this vocal unit, so we are going to go and listen to Home Free. They're part of that like vocal pantheon of greats like Voctave, Pentatonix, VoicePlay. So we're gonna go and listen to them because I've not heard them yet. I'm very excited, and we're listening to Do You Hear What I Hear? Do you hear what I hear? Why was that a struggle to say? Anyway, let's go and see what I hear. Okay. Okay, so first off, I'm not laughing because I think it's funny. It just took me by surprise. Using breath as percussion is just really, really inventive, and it's a great way to use what would be almost like a byproduct of singing and turning it into an actual vocal moment. Love it, love it.
Said the night wind to the little lamb, do you see what I see?
I like this guy's voice. Very aspirate, breathy, more air coming through the folds than normal. Gives that kind of sexy sound. You hear it kind of tails off as he goes into the higher part of that phrase, because he's having to give a little bit more twang in order to kind of make that jump out and give it the bite that it needs. The others are matching his recipe perfectly. So it's kind of like an echo in the original anyway. Do you hear what I hear? Do you hear what? So they're playing that really well by matching what he's doing and making it sound like his voice is just kind of spilling out and echoing. Beautiful job.
Way up in the sky, little lamb, do you see what I see? A star dancing in the night with a tail as big as a kite.
He's got a really good voice as well. I mean, they probably all do, let's face it. There is a bit more kind of nasal and oral twang coming through here. It's like, ha! It's very pressed. Sounds very buttery and compressed. It's lovely. I'm getting a real country vibe off this guy as well. Like, I feel like his lane is very countrified. If that's the word, countrified? Anyway, his voice suits country music, I would think, and it's great.
With a tail as big as a kite. Said the little lamb to the shepherd boy, do you hear what I hear? Do you hear what I hear? Ringing through the sky, shepherd boy.
Now, it's always the way that you see somebody and you think, his voice is going to be super deep, and then it's the exact opposite. Or you see someone and you think, their voice is going to be super high, and then it's really low. The man with the beard his voice is set so high. Larynx is really high, very bright, very young kind of sounding. So, do you hear what I hear? It's all really, really pulled up and it's lovely, really crisp. His voice also ends up being very complimentary to the others as well, because it just gives just a wee kind of top end to everything. It brightens it all up. Lovely. The other man, his voice was quite high set as well, just not as much. It was more conversational placement of the larynx, so somewhere in the middle. But they're really, really good.
Song, a song, high above the trees, with a voice as big as the sea, with a voice as big as the sea.
Now, it just says to how high set his voice is that even the lower notes, he doesn't move his larynx down, it stays high. So rather than going see and letting that larynx drop down to give a bit of depth to that sound, it's more see. You still get that brightness off of that, even though it's the lower of the notes in that phrase. My voice isn't working today. My words, I mean.
Said the shepherd boy to the mighty king, do you know what I know? In your palace warm, mighty king, do you know what I know? Child.
So hard to keep up with everyone because they're now starting to like go off and do little extra bits. That lovely high head voice from the guy with the long wavy hair, the country guy, beautiful, just so delicate and like soft, but at the same time kind of pierces through. There is one guy that's doing a really low bass end. You know, I am an absolute sucker for a bass note and for a low note, especially when it's well controlled and it still has all of the harmonics, doesn't drop way into kind of here and kind of air out. Whoever is the low end, I think it's the long straight hair guy. Is his name Tim Faust? Because that's the name that gets put in my comments all the time. If that's him, I'm in love with your voice.
A child shivers in the cold. Let us bring him silver and gold. Let us bring him silver and gold.
You can really hear the layering coming in here. So they'll have recorded their own parts several times, possibly harmonic lines of themselves several times, and then they're kind of bringing it all together. It sounds amazing. I think there's 5 of them. There's probably about 30 odd vocal lines here. And they blend together so beautifully. Like their recipes all seem to complement one another whilst having just enough of that individuality that you can kind of pick out who is doing what. The guy that's doing percussion is he is so funny. Like he's so intense to look at. I can't hold it in. Every time he goes like "Pah!" I laugh. So apologies, but I can't do anything about it. This is intense. They are so good. These harmonies are so well placed. They're so well balanced. There's like little riffs that are happening, little licks of certain notes just at the very end there. that wasn't showboaty. It just enhanced it enough without it being like one stepping in the way and getting to the front. They work so well together. Like, all harmony groups have to have balance, and if they don't, it becomes messy. This is so clean, it's so well controlled. Not one of them jumps out in front of the rest. They are all very equally placed. Very good.
The child, sleeping in the night, he will bring us goodness and light. He will bring us goodness and light.
Breathiest I've heard that guy with the high set voice. Light. You could hear the air coming through with the note, like a big column of air with a note just swirling about in the middle of it. Absolutely gorgeous. My goodness. Wow. They're amazing. I'm blown away. Blown away. If there's more, drop some links in my comments and we'll go and take a look. My mouth is not working. So I hope you liked that reaction. If you did, please give it a like and a thumbs up down below. And if you want to see more from me, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and anytime I have new content, you will be the first to know. So I guess all that's left for me to say is thank you so much for joining me. And how are we going to buy this one? That's what it's going to be, this song, innit? So I guess all that's left for me to say is thank you so much for joining me. And if you like this, hit like and subscribe. And I'll kiss your faces. Mwah! I'll kiss your face. Bye.